So I asked you guys both on my Instagram and on YouTube, what were your hot takes? So we're going to be looking at all of them, both, I'm talking any gens and any tier. Hot take, Latios should be tested for Gen 3 OU. That is a hot take, that's also a garbage take, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons that Latios is able to, be a more or less normal Pokemon in Gen 4 OU is because of Tyranitar and because of Scarfed Tyranitar. Scarfed Tyranitar benefits, not just from the speed boost from the item, but also from the fact that it can use Crunch and Pursuit off of its highest stat, which is the attack stat. You know what it doesn't do in Gen 3? It doesn't get Scarf, and it doesn't have that high attack stat to benefit from because of the lack of physical special split. Okay? What's going to happen when Latios runs into Generation 3? Practically no one can tie its speed because there's no Scarf, and no physical dark Pokemon can use physical dark type moves on it. Not even Jirachi can really do much because it can't even be Scarfed. Like, that's really the only... I guess Jirachi could kind of help. That's the only Pokemon that can really help in that situation. Jirachi and Blissey. Like, so many Pokemon would just cease to really have a niche or even a role in the metagame because Latios would be just so, incredibly overwhelming. I don't think this is a good idea. Gen 3 OU, it's like, it can be super infuriating, but it's just so well balanced. So, I think this is a really bad idea. Personally, I don't see the benefits of this, because she would just be Draco Meteoring everyone. Like, what do you do when she tricks Blissey? Nothing. You can't really stop her or anything. Who's gonna stop her? Fortress? No, nah, bad take. This was one of my favorite takes ever because it's something that I had been thinking about, but I didn't really know how to put this into words, which is that Tangrowth is better than Pharaoh. So, I understand why you would think that's not exactly true. There's probably some people thinking, like, she's cracked on Adderall, why is she agreeing with this? And honestly, it just comes down to the fact that Tangrowth has both Regenerator and a reliable recovery move. Now, honestly, I think that's infinitely valuable in a stall-like defensive mon. Ferrothorn does not have that. He has an amazing defensive profile, but the question becomes, does that defensive profile do all of those resistances do they make up for, the lack of synthesis? And I feel like more and more that's just not the case. With the prevalency of knockoff, that's just the utter hazard problem. I feel like Ferrothorn has had a little bit of a hard time to keep up with the competition. And so I think this is a very good take. Like, we saw the potential that Tangrowth had in Generation 6. My brother he made a stall Tangrowth team on Gen 9 National Dex, and to this day, I've never been able to break it, because Tangrowth just made for a phenomenal tank that is really, really amazing at just adapting. So, good take in my opinion. I do think that it has potential to be better than Pharaoh. This dude says min-maxing is a mistake, and I remember I replied to that comment specifically asking him, like, why? Because this is such a specific take that I've never heard. This is very original, and he said, I don't like the way new Pokemon have to one-up ones of the past. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but yeah, this makes sense, and I know that's kind of rich to hear from the girl that's always like, I don't like this Pokemon because it's not min-maxed. But, I'm a competitive player, but I do understand fundamentally that some Pokemon are just, not only are some Pokemon just, not meant to be that good, but also, if Pokemon were all, good, all min-maxed, the tiers wouldn't really be a thing, specific strategies with specific Pokemon wouldn't be a thing. And we're gonna see this a lot, in the questions, or at least I saw it a lot in the comments where people were like, not everything has to be for competitive, this is a competitive channel, but it does make sense, because, it is kind of annoying constantly to be like, oh, I like this Pokemon, it's cool, for nostalgia reasons or just for this or that, and someone's like, well, it's not min-max, it doesn't have a good move pool, and that's annoying, and it's like, well, it doesn't have to. I'm gonna put it on my team, I'm gonna do my best with it, and I'm gonna let my skills do the talking. I feel like that's a normal thing, rather than to just have to min-max everything. And, one-upping everyone, having to one-up that, this special fire attack or everything, I think it leads to less creativity. Because if, let's say Infernape, he's a really interesting mixed attacker. If he had to, one-up Blaziken, we wouldn't have the mixed attacker that we have now. We would have probably just a physical attacker, and you wouldn't be able to use Fire Blast or Grass Knot. And Fire Blast and Grass Knot allowed him to have unique coverage over Swampert in Generation 4. So I do agree with him. Pokemon Competitive is way too overcomplicated. All the tiers and prohibitions seems complicated, don't let you truly play the game. If you want to truly play a game, you can play the online. You can play like the version, right? Like just on the console. But no, I think you're wrong. Like these are, I understand and thinking I don't like these specific rules, but I don't like and in general, like I understand it's overwhelming, but there are rules because like these rules mean that we get freedom. And by that, I mean that when you have no rules, there's really only going to be a select few strategies that actually work. You might be thinking, oh, that's how it is now. No, actually, there's way more diversity now with the rules than if we didn't have any. Like, that's why there's two versions of Hackmons. One where people actually play competitively, and one where less people play because there's only like a few things that actually work. If we didn't have any rules, people would just be spamming no guard, focus punch, or whatever that move. People would just be spamming like Oko moves. And that does not sound fun. Without rules, there is no competitive aspect. Like, rules are the things that really give us freedom. Some old French philosopher said the same thing. But no, I think that you need to think about this a little bit more. Like, with your critical thinking skills, I think that would be good. This one is Mega Evolutions are bad because they offer only a temporary solution to a permanent problem of weak Pokemon getting buffed with a Mega instead of a real evolution or a stat buff, which will stick whereas Mega Evolutions come and go, so when they're no longer here, the Pokemon is weak again. So I disagree fundamentally because I think that we just view, I'm gonna put on my hat, I feel like I look better with it, it's more on theme, because I feel like we just view Mega Evolutions like super differently. Like, Mega Evolutions aren't meant to be a solution to a problem. Mega Evolution is a gimmick. Gimmicks are not meant to be solutions. Terra didn't really solve anything, Z-moves didn't really solve anything. And Mega Evolutions are honestly just meant to be a gimmick, spice up a game. Like, Pokemon has been Pokemon for a very long time. It has been this same turn-based games for years now. Mega Evolution is only supposed to make it more interesting, and I think that's why people like it. Because, you know, with Terra, like, yeah, sure, everyone can technically benefit from it, but really there's a few Pokemon that are going to really benefit from it. So there's no use, like, pretending, really, that, you know, Mega Evolutions are for everyone. No, they're for that select Pokemon, and that's okay, you know, like, not everyone is going to get it, that's fine. Mega Evolution acknowledges it, the fact that it's just meant for a few select Pokemon, whereas Terra, people are still, you know, here arguing about, like, no, this is good for the metagame, no, this is bad for the metagame. So I disagree because it's not trying to solve anything. Unlike Terra, people are like, no, this does solve this problem. So, no, I just think that it's not meant to solve anything. I think you're looking at it in a weird way. I've heard people say, like, it's good because, you know, it gives, like, older Pokemon or, like, weaker Pokemon an edge, but I've never heard anyone really outright say that it was meant to be a solution to it. The positive things were just a byproduct of Mega Evolution. Gen 5 OU is a fun metagame to play in. I think that's really funny that that's considered a hot take. I don't know if that's considered a hot take, but I mean, I guess it probably is by some people. It's fun. I think something can be very fun and also a very grueling experience, and I think competitive Pokemon as a whole is proof of that. Gen 5 now is much more hospitable to new players, or just players in general, than it was 2-3 years ago, you know, from the legends that I hear. So I think it's fun. I think that it would be a lot better if you were allowed, or if more defensive playstyles, you know, it was more hospitable to that. I know a lot of people hate stall, but if you're not allowed, if you can't play stall at all, that's kind of a sign of an unhealthy metagame a little bit, you know? Just how if you can't play anything but stall, it's also unhealthy, a la Gen 6 or Gen 7. So I think it's good. It just gets a bad rep because of the history. Next is Reshiram should be tested in Gen 9 OU or Gen 10. Yeah, I agree. I never found it useful, and I know that's like not a hot take, but even on like random battles, like I'm okay. I'm not too good at random battles, but I am a solid, like I'm okay. I'm mid at it. And I've had reshiram on my team a couple of times, and I've just it's never been useful. It's never been useful. You know, and I feel like every Pokemon and Gen 9 random battles is useful. How bad do you have to be a legendary and not be? So honestly, test it for yuyu. Even, I don't even care. If Clodsire can take it out, there's a problem. Yeah, I agree. This dude said, here are my hot takes, and there's a few, but I'm gonna look at stall as a strategy just like any game, which is a strategy that tries to guarantee the win. Is annoying, yes, but it's not a reason to hate it over a player. I think I've made it very clear that I like stall. I haven't actually run it in a while because it's not really fun to like watch someone play it on stream. But yeah, I mean, it's a strategy just like any other. There's definitely strategies that I dislike, but I understand that it's, you know, just part of the game. Like, I tried VGC for a little bit. This is a singles video, but I tried VGC for a little bit. And I really hated all of the, the follow me Pokemon. Because it seems so overpowering, overwhelming, like it's stupid. But I understand it's just strategy. Like, if you can't, there's another hot take in here that's like, if you can't beat stall, you're a bad player. And yeah, it's true, because stall is just like any other strategy. If you can't beat hyper offense, you're probably not a very good player. If you can't beat bulky hazards, you're probably not a good player. And that's not me saying that because I'm an amazing player, like I'm not that good. It's just a fact. These are very basic, staple strategies, and if you can't beat them, you're probably not a very good player. This dude says damage ranges are one of the most important concepts to new players should learn. And like, yeah, this seems like an obvious thing, but it really isn't. Like, I remember when I first started playing Pokemon, damage rules were infuriating, but I didn't really bother to learn them. And yeah, you really do gotta learn them. Like, and I think that's why the damage calc is a really good tool. I had a friend who doesn't really play competitive Pokemon, but he's played it a few times. Like, he just knows of it, and he thinks that it's like cheating. And it's not like cheating, because here's the thing: after enough time playing Pokemon, you kind of just get a sense for the damage rolls. Like, I remember once I was playing without the calc, and I put out a Blissey against like a Mega, that electric dog thing, and it was a random battles, and I remember it like boosted its attack or something. I don't even remember, but I was like, oh, this is going to do between 20 and 25% damage, and it landed in 23 exactly. And it's just that, like, you play for enough, you'll start to get a sense for damage rolls, and the calc can do that for you. But it's also just a very good tool in general to learn that, to familiarize yourself with that, because it can also be wrong. It's an estimate, and it doesn't always know the sets. I got so many like responses specifically on Instagram about special attackers, quiver dance, and burn. So to answer them all, you know, the two questions that came up a lot was like, burn should affect both attack and special attack, and there should be a special version of Dragon Dance. Quiver Dance doesn't count. I disagree with both. I actually think that there's no need to have, I don't think there's any need to have a special version of Burn, because there's no Dragon Dance. Now, I understand physical attackers get much harder time, because it's just overall really difficult to deal with Rocky Helmets, Intimidate, and Will-O-Wisp, you know? But I also think that Dragon Dance kind of, it almost makes up for it. Like, I feel like this is gonna be a hot take. It's such a goated move, such great, like, it's, everyone has it. I feel like it's as common as, like, having spikes or something, that I think that it really does make up for those challenges that they face. And special attackers, them not getting that is such a nerf, because only bad Pokemon get Quiver Dance. I think that it's, like, fairly balanced right now. What's not balanced is these sheer stats that special attackers get. I think that can be mitigated. Like, the stats of that Raikou on steroids, I forgot their name, is insane. Like, I feel like that's what's really the problem. I remember at one point I had accidentally put my EVs to like a max defense Blissey instead of a max special defense, and that stupid leopard annihilated it with one Draco Meteor, and I just don't think that's normal. So I disagree with these takes because I think that's fine. It's fine as it is. I think what Game Freak really needs to do is calm down and give Pokemon more reasonable stats, because this really it is an Uber tier. Really, it's just Uber light, and that really does need to change a bit. This man's hot take was actually not a hot take at all. It's like, you know, the objective truth, and it's Chooks is good at the game. It's true. I'm actually the only person to have ever won the, you know, the VGC World's Champions, whatever it's called, and to have beat both BKC, PokeAMD, and McMegan, all in a single hour. I was really just on fire that day. I'm actually the best player in the world. The reason I lose on stream is because I'm a humble person. I just don't want to discourage everyone from trying, because I feel like that's what would happen, you know, if I showed like 100% of my strength, no one would want to play because I'm just so good at it, you know, and I really, like, I just care for the community, that's why. So thank you so much for saying the truth. You know, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be conceited, but I am the best player of all time. Kishimoto, no, that's the dude who wrote Naruto, Sugimori actually said that to me. He said, "You're the best player of all time," and you know, I was like, shucks, but that is true. I am. Thank you for the truth, and thank you guys for watching the video. This is a very different type of video. I show my face on stream and stuff, but actually filming it, I feel very self-conscious, and this is also not scripted, so that's new. But thank you, and if you want to leave more hot takes, you can, and I will get to them in the next one.